What's up, people? It's your boy Carlos, and you're watching Blue Forte TV. You are watching the analysis and kind of preview of Chelsea's game tomorrow versus Sunderland and all the rest of match week 9's fixtures. Yesterday, because it is 2 in the morning now, yesterday I did, yesterday I watched Leeds United versus West Ham United, Friday, 24th of October. Leeds United beat West Ham United 2-1. Aronson scored a goal in the 3rd minute, and Rodon scored a goal in the 15th minute, which was assisted by Sean Longstaff to take them 2-0 up at halftime. And in the second half, Mateus Fernandes scored in the 90th minute, and that goal was assisted by Gerard Bowen. Good little result for Leeds as well. And that will I'll show you the table in a minute at the end of this stream. And that was good for Leeds to get 3 points actually from that game. Tomorrow kicks off with the first game will be Chelsea versus Sunderland at 3 o'clock. We're playing at Stamford Bridge. And we'll be without 7 players for our Premier League clash with Sunderland. Obviously, Liam Delap, of course, as you know, who's recovering from a hamstring injury. Cole Palmer, who aggravated his groin 2 games ago. He won't be back till, they say about mid-November to about end of November. Maybe he might come back before that, I'm not sure, but expect probably about end of November, early December. Levi Colwell's out with an ACL, as you well know by now. He won't be around this. I think he'll be out for the whole season. He may come back in about March, April, but he won't be fit. He'll need game time and everything to be back in the first team squad. So expect him to be out. Dario Isugo, who went underneath the knife back in September, has a thigh injury. I don't know the details of it, but he won't be back. Benoit Badiashile has a muscle. I don't know if it was a muscle tear or a rupture or a pull. He won't be back till, say, around the same time as Cole Palmer, probably about mid-November to end of November. He might come back earlier than that, who knows. Mikhailo Mudryk is still serving a 2-year doping ban. We're without Malo Gusto as well, because he was sent off in the 87th minute in last weekend's 3-0 win over Nottingham Forest. So Moses Caicedo, from what we know, he was used as an inverted right back in our 5-1 win over Ajax in the midweek. He'll be back to his natural deep lying midfield position. Reece James will be called back to the right side of the back 4 in place of Malo Gusto. So that's a good thing. Robert Sanchez apparently will be, I don't know how true it is, might replace Jorgensen in goal, although I think Jorgensen did quite well other than the penalty, which he actually did dive the correct way. It was a penalty. But other than that, he did pretty well as well. So he could start tomorrow, today, should I say, later on today, but who knows. Trevor Chalobah and Mark Cucurella will hopefully return as well. And there is the potential of Fofana, Tosin, and Jarrell Hartel potentially coming back into the squad. That's what reports are saying. So Caicedo will be back in the middle with Enzo Fernandez, and we will see if Fernandez does play in a deeper role. It is said Esteval will continue in the number 10 behind Pedro, but it's said that there's a possibility that Mark Guiu could start. Actually, no. Actually, Mark Guiu, I don't know if did he get, is there a suspension on him? I'm not sure if he's got a suspension, but he might not start tomorrow. But anyway, I'm not sure about the striker, to tell you the truth. Pedro Neto is definitely in contention to be on the right wing. And Garnacho and Tyreek George, it could be Tyreek George that will start on the left wing. So that's pretty good. So it could be Sanchez, James, Tosin. It could be Sanchez, James, Tosin, Chalobah, Cucurella, Caicedo, Fernandez, Neto, Esteval, George, and Pedro. Pedro might play up front. It depends. It all depends on. I think Guiu is suspended, so yeah, that could be a potential lineup. I'm not sure anyway, but we'll see tomorrow what happens. What do I think of this game with us against Sunderland? I expect to win. I expect another win, another solid win, possibly a 2-0 win. I got the 3-0 against Nottingham Forest, right? But with the 5 goals we got against Ajax, it could be a possible another high-scoring game tomorrow. So I wouldn't put it past us to get 4 goals against Sunderland. Not knocking Sunderland for anything, but I do think we've started to gather momentum. I know a lot of Chelsea fans are saying, we've got all these injuries, and but we're not looking shaky in defence. You know what I mean? If you look at Chalobah's red card, it was a decision that I probably would have made the same decision he made, being in his shoes, putting myself in his shoes. So he didn't really do anything wrong. We've looked quite solid defensively. Reece James is definitely back to form. Caicedo's been amazing. Esteval's really starting to find his feet. Tyreek George just looks young and dynamic and hungry. I hope he starts ahead of Garnacho, even though Garnacho's been good in recent, against Liverpool. And I think with Nottingham Forest, it wasn't his fault. I would say that the service towards him down the left flank wasn't that. Yeah, I mean, some of the balls were a little bit too fast for him to keep in play. So he could start tomorrow, but I think George, I've been saying for a long time, Tyreek George should have definitely started ahead of him. Garnacho is better coming off the bench, which is what I've been saying for a long time. So it would be good to see George start tomorrow. I think George will possibly get a goal as well. I do see Esteval getting a goal tomorrow. I see Caicedo, if he's got the space, hitting, a rocket tomorrow. So I'm going to go with, I said 2-0, but I think probably a 4-0, like potentially it could be four goals, maybe 5 goals if we get into our groove. If not, and it's a bit cagey and we're worried, then it would just be a 2-0 win for us. But I'm definitely positive Very, very positive, highly positive about our chances in the Premiership now, and we're starting to look like we're in the title race. You know what I mean? And yeah, it's good. There's no alarm bells ringing. We've got good squad depth. We've gelled well together. There's a lot of respect for each other individually, and yeah, I'm positive, highly positive about us tomorrow. So I'm going with a Chelsea win. I think we'll win tomorrow. Today, sorry, later on today. The next game being played will be kicking off at 3 o'clock. That will be Newcastle United versus Fulham. Newcastle playing at home. I'm just going to use my discernment on that one. I would say that Newcastle should win that. I would say probably by one goal advantage. So it could be a 2-1, a 1-0 to Newcastle, or a 3-2, something like that. Fulham definitely are good attacking wise. They just don't have anybody really clinical, but their build up play is really good, and that they will cause Newcastle problems. It could be a draw, a 1-1 draw, but I probably would expect Newcastle to win that one by a 1 goal margin. One of the most interesting games tomorrow is the Manchester United game against Brighton and Hove Albion. They're kicking off at 5:30 in the evening. That's going to be interesting to see. Man United do need to gather momentum. I'm going to go with a Man United win, to be quite honest. I think there'll be a lot of goals in that game because potentially Brighton are a strong team. They can cause Man United a lot of problems. Man United have been very shaky in quite a few games. Even against us, they beat us, but they didn't play particularly very well. But with the win over Liverpool, that will give them a great boost of confidence. And they're starting to creep up the table. So yeah, I'm going to go with Man United on that one. That one could be a 2-0, something like that, or it could be a 4-2. I think they'll win it by two goals. Also tomorrow, sorry, I'm just looking down on the list. Brentford are playing Liverpool at 8 o'clock. Brentford are playing at home. I've got Brentford. I've got Brentford, doing. Yeah, I've got Brentford winning that one, possibly by a 1 goal margin as well, like a 1-0 or a 2-1. I think Liverpool, I've been saying they would not win it back to back. That Liverpool don't win leagues back to back. The only teams I've seen do that are Chelsea, Man United, and Man City. And Man United, I think Man United hold the record for most times in a row. I think they do. No, Man City do. My bad. Sorry, it's Man City that do. I think it is. Yeah. So I'll go with Brentford. I think Brentford are quite solid when they play at home. I think their coach is really good. The team is pretty solid as well, and they can keep possession. They are good. They got Jordan Henderson in the middle. I don't know even know if he's injured or not, but certainly against us, he was quite instrumental. So I'm going to go with Brentford winning that one. On Sunday, the first game I've got down in alphabetical order is Arsenal versus Crystal Palace. They're kicking off at 2 o'clock. It's important for you to know that, I didn't even mention the Man United games on Sky Sports, Man United Brighton, and Brentford Liverpool's on TNT. Sky Sports on Sunday have a one of them bumper Sundays. So there's Arsenal. Well, I'll tell you anyway. All the games are on Sky Sports on Sunday. So just bear that in mind. And 4 of them are kicking off at 2 o'clock. Arsenal are playing Crystal Palace. For some reason, even though I predicted Arsenal to win this season, I think Palace got a lot of confidence. They drew with us. They beat Liverpool. I think they'll upset the odds tomorrow. Possibly. I expect Arsenal to win, like a 2-0, 3-0. That's me just off the top of my dome. But I definitely know Crystal Palace away from home can cause problems. They can cause problems. They didn't beat us, but they did cause us a lot of problems. I'm gonna go with, I don't know the score, but I'll go with a Crystal Palace win. Actually, that would be probably the upset, one of the upsets of the weekend, other than Brentford. Aston Villa are kicking off at 2 o'clock as well. That's live on Sky Sports as well. They're playing Man City. They had a loss against Go Ahead Eagles, was it, during the week? In the Europa, or the conference. I can't even remember what they're in. I think they're in the Europa. Either way, in Europe, they had an upset against them. I'm going to go with Man City to win that game. I don't know the margin, but I'll go with a Man City win, even though Man City are playing away from home. Bournemouth are also kicking off at 2 o'clock against Nottingham Forest. I'll keep this one short and sweet. Even with Sean Dyche, even with Nottingham Forest's win in Europe, I think Bournemouth have the team, the strength, and the offensive play to beat Nottingham Forest. I'm going to go with Bournemouth to win that one at home. I don't know the score, but I think Semenyo, Clive, if he does play, I think they'll be quite instrumental in that game. But yeah, I got Bournemouth winning that one. The last one at 2 o'clock is Wolves versus Burnley. I'll go with Burnley on that one. I don't know the score either. I won't predict the score, but I'll go with Burnley to win against Wolves. And the last game on Sunday is Everton at home. They're kicking off at 4:30 versus Tottenham, and I will go with Tottenham to win that one. But I mean, again, I don't know the score on that one. But the margin will be a 2-goal margin, I think, for Spurs. Spurs definitely have to be 2 or 3 goals up for them to have a real chance of winning. So there it is. I'll summarize it. Chelsea, Sunderland, I got Chelsea. Newcastle, Fulham, I got Newcastle. Man United, Brighton, I got Man U. Brentford, Liverpool, I've got Brentford. Arsenal, even though they're playing at home, I got Palace was in an upset. I just really got that in my head. I don't know why. Villa at home to Man City, I got Man City. Bournemouth at home to Nottingham Forest, I got Bournemouth. Wolves are at home, but I think Burnley will get an away win over them. And Everton are at home, and I got Tottenham. So let me just quickly go to the league table as well, because that Leeds win takes Leeds to 13th place, and West Ham stay in 19th place. And West Ham are on 4 points now, and Leeds are on 11 points. It does look to me, that's why I think Burnley will get a win over Wolves to, add a nail in the coffin. But I do think last season they said it was like some teams were on 25 points. the ones that got relegated, 25 and 26 points. At the end of November, I would do a prediction of who I believe will go down. But Nottingham Forest are actually in 18th place at the moment on 5 points. If Burnley get a win, they go up to 10 points, level with Brentford, depending on if Brentford win, which against Liverpool, which I think they can do. I really think they can upset the odds. It's going to be interesting, but yeah, I would say at the end of November, we'll know. I'll give you a stronger indication of who I think is going to go down, and who I know will go down, really. This season, hopefully, I mean, this week, next week, and all of November is the most important, I think, of the season. Definitely for momentum, for morale and everything else. Arsenal are in first place, as you know. Man City second, Bournemouth third, Liverpool fourth, Chelsea fifth, Tottenham sixth, Sunderland in seventh place, Crystal Palace in eighth, Man United in ninth place, Brighton in 10th, Villa in 11th, Everton 12th, Leeds, like I said, that win over West Ham takes them up to 13th place. Brentford in 14th place, Newcastle in 15th place, you know. They'll definitely need a win. Fulham in 16th place behind them, Burnley 17th, Nottingham Forest 18th, and West Ham 19th, with Wolves in 20th place. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. I will do a summary, like a whole review of the weekend's games on Sunday. And yeah, as I always say, for those at the moment, it's a slow process, but when you do actually manage to get to see me in your recommended, whenever that is, when the subscribers come, and everything else down the line, let me know what you think in the comment section. If you're watching the videos, when the videos do eventually get to you, I think YouTube, eventually they have to, after a certain amount of videos uploaded, they have to lift any possible shadow bans. So it's nice if you could like, comment, or share and subscribe the video. Subscribe to the channel, should I say. Like and comment on the video. But yeah, I possibly will go on a resharing platform that will get it to maybe 9, 10 other platforms, but I'm not going to do that yet. I'll just stay on YouTube for now. So yeah, that's it. I'm out.